Look at two roads. One is dark, smooth, and seems to blend into the landscape. The other is pale, rigid, and divided into large slabs. Both can carry cars, trucks, buses, and enormous amounts of traffic. So, why would engineers choose one instead of the other? Is concrete simply stronger? Is asphalt simply cheaper? Not quite. The real decision is much more interesting. Engineers aren't choosing between two colors of pavement. They're choosing how an entire road system will behave for years or even decades. And the decision begins with one simple question. What does this road need to survive? The two very different materials. Asphalt pavement is a flexible pavement system. It uses mineral aggregates bound together with asphalt binder, forming layers that can accommodate some movement and deformation. Concrete pavement behaves differently. Concrete is a rigid material whose slab distributes loads over a broader area of the underlying foundation. That difference affects almost everything. How the road carries traffic, how it responds to temperature, how it is constructed, how it is repaired, and how it behaves over time. So engineers first look at the environment in which the pavement has to work. Traffic changes everything. Imagine a quiet residential street. Cars pass occasionally. Now compare that with a major highway carrying thousands of vehicles every day, including heavy trucks. Those roads experience very different stresses. Engineers need to estimate traffic volumes and, more importantly, the loads created by heavy vehicles. Repeated truck loading can cause pavement fatigue, deformation, cracking, and other forms of deterioration. The heavier and more frequent the traffic, the more carefully the pavement structure has to be designed. This is one reason there is no universal answer to the asphalt versus concrete question. A material that works perfectly for one road may not be the best choice for another. Why asphalt can be attractive? Asphalt has a major practical advantage. Construction can be relatively fast. Once the pavement is placed and compacted appropriately, a road can often be open to traffic much sooner than a newly constructed concrete pavement that requires time to develop strength. That's extremely valuable when closing a road creates major disruption. Think about a busy urban intersection. Every hour of closure can affect commuters, businesses, deliveries, and emergency services. A construction method that reduces downtime can have enormous economic value. Asphalt also lends itself well to staged construction and resurfacing. Instead of completely rebuilding a road, engineers can sometimes rehabilitate the existing pavement with new asphalt layers. But asphalt has its own weaknesses. The heat problem. Asphalt responds to temperature. On a very hot day, the binder becomes softer. Under repeated heavy traffic, that can contribute to deformation such as rutting if the pavement isn't properly designed for the conditions. Cold temperatures create a different challenge. As asphalt becomes stiffer, temperature changes can contribute to cracking. So engineers have to consider the local climate. A pavement designed for a hot region may face different challenges from one designed for a place with severe winters. And that brings us to concrete. Why concrete can be attractive? Concrete has a different structural behavior. A concrete pavement slab is rigid and can distribute wheel loads over a relatively broad area. This can make concrete attractive for locations experiencing heavy or concentrated traffic. Truck routes, industrial facilities, intersections, and other high-load environments may benefit from rigid pavement designs. Concrete can also have a long service life when properly designed, constructed, and maintained. But there's a catch. Concrete construction requires careful control of materials, joints, curing, finishing, and timing. And a concrete pavement generally cannot simply be treated like a large piece of stone. It moves with temperature and moisture changes. That's why engineers deliberately include joints. Why are there lines in concrete roads? Have you ever looked at a concrete road and wondered why it is divided into squares or rectangles? Those lines aren't random. They're part of the design. Concrete expands and contracts as temperature and moisture conditions change. Instead of allowing uncontrolled cracks to develop wherever they want, engineers use joints to help control where movement occurs. Some joints can also transfer loads between adjacent slabs. So those seemingly simple lines are actually part of the pavement's engineering strategy. The road is being allowed to move but in a controlled way. What about cost? Now we reach one of the questions everyone asks. Which one is cheaper? Again, there isn't a universal answer. Engineers have to consider more than the initial construction price. They may evaluate material costs, labor, equipment, construction time, expected maintenance, rehabilitation requirements, traffic disruption, and the pavement's anticipated service life. A pavement that costs less to build today may require more frequent rehabilitation later. Another option might cost more initially but reduce maintenance over its design life. So engineers often think in terms of life cycle cost, not simply the price of construction. The cheapest road to build isn't necessarily the cheapest road to own. The ground underneath matters. Here's something drivers rarely think about. The pavement isn't sitting directly on untouched ground. Roads are built as layered systems. The surface sits on base and subbase layers, which ultimately interact with the underlying soil. If the foundation is weak or drainage is poor, even an excellent pavement material can experience problems. Water is especially important. Poor drainage can weaken supporting layers and contribute to deterioration. So when engineers choose asphalt or concrete, they're not just choosing a surface. They're designing the entire pavement structure. Maintenance changes the equation. No road lasts forever without maintenance. Asphalt can often be resurfaced relatively efficiently. A deteriorated surface can sometimes receive a new asphalt layer, restoring smoothness and extending service life. Concrete repairs can involve slab replacement, joint repairs, grinding, or other rehabilitation techniques. The best strategy depends on the type of damage. A road with surface wear has different needs from one suffering major foundation failure. That's why pavement engineers don't simply ask, asphalt or concrete. They also ask, how will we maintain it? Construction time matters. Imagine a road serving a major airport, or a highway connecting two cities, or a busy urban intersection. Closing it for months could create enormous disruption. In such situations, construction speed can become a major factor in material selection and project planning. Asphalt can offer advantages where rapid placement and reopening are priorities. Concrete may still be selected where its structural characteristics and expected long-term performance justify the longer construction process. The best solution balances engineering performance with real-world constraints: climate, traffic, money, and time. By now, the decision should sound less like a competition. It's really a balancing act. Engineers consider traffic, climate, soil, drainage, materials, construction schedule, maintenance, expected service life, budget, and even local experience and available equipment. A pavement design that works extremely well in one region may not be ideal somewhere else. That's why roads can look completely different from one country, state, or city to another. The environment is part of the design. So, which one is better? Here's the question we've been building toward. Is asphalt better than concrete? Or is concrete better than asphalt? The engineering answer is, neither is universally better. Asphalt can be attractive when rapid construction, flexibility, staged rehabilitation, and ease of resurfacing are important. Concrete can be attractive when rigid pavement behavior, heavy loading, and long-term performance under particular conditions are priorities. But even those statements have exceptions. Modern pavement engineering has many different designs, materials, and construction methods. The decision isn't based on one characteristic. It's based on the entire system. The simple answer. So how do engineers choose between asphalt and concrete roads? They study what the road will experience. They estimate traffic and heavy vehicle loads. They examine climate, temperature, soil conditions, drainage, construction constraints, maintenance strategies, and life cycle costs. Then they design a pavement structure that can deliver the required performance. That's why the road beneath your tires is more complicated than it looks. A dark asphalt surface isn't simply cheap pavement. A concrete slab isn't automatically stronger pavement. Both are engineering solutions designed around different combinations of conditions. And every time you drive down a highway, you're traveling across the result of hundreds of decisions about loads, materials, water, temperature, time, and cost. The road looks simple. The engineering underneath it is anything but. So the next time you see asphalt on one road and concrete on another, don't ask which one is stronger. Ask a better question. Which one was better suited to the job? That's the question engineers are really answering. Thanks for listening.